Good morning and welcome to another edition of Outsider Genie. Today we have racing at Polytrack Greyville. It's the 15th of July, halfway down the month, 10 days away from the Durban July. So before I start, I just want to, for the sake of the persons who might be watching this preview for the first time, Outsider Genie is not a tipping service. What Outsider Genie do is we analyze form. So at the end of the day, I look for outsiders that I can give you, so that you can include that in your play, whatever play it is, your trifecta, swingers, quartets, PAs, jackpots, big sixes, whatever, so that you can get the higher dividend. I mean, there's no value in punting favorites all the time. So you need to find outsiders, and not everybody has got a skill to find outsiders. So my main purpose is to provide people with outsiders. So you can't come to me and ask me, listen, what is your strike rate? What we normally do is we give free selections. Yes, you can subscribe to our form analysis every day. We will then give you a race by race selection, outright winner and two possible outsider selections. That's per race. So normally our first number is our outright winner, and then the other two numbers is outsider selections. We also give you two value bets for the day. They normally 6-1 and higher. We give you a best bet of the day. I don't give a 8 to 10 shot. You can find that yourself. I try and find horses with value, so that you can, uh, you know, make a bit of money on them. Like last week at the Val, I tipped Rouge Allure at 72, best bet of the day, won by 5 lengths. And a few people said to me afterwards, thank you, they made decent money. And we also give trifectas or quartets, and sometimes because we include in our quartets, we include outsiders. Last week I had horses running third and second, paying R6 to play. So obviously you immediately you boost your quartet and trifecta dividends. We also give the affordable PA between 48 and 96, and we have caught a few ones that is quite handsomely. As with the pick six, we don't normally give a pick six more than 150 rand. That's 1%. And the thing about our PA and pick sixes, that's just a skeleton. You can add in your own horses, or take some of my horses out, put your play in, and you can build around that. So you can play it as is, or you can build around it. That 150 rand is normally for 1%, so you can play to which percentage you are comfortable with. Then we have got a special offer leading up to the Durban the July. So if you subscribe now, for the now till the end of the month, will be 350 rand, and after 350, 100 rand will go into. We're going to do a pick six and a PA and a jackpot, and that is 50% of that will go to the pick six, 25 to the PA, and 25 to the jackpot, and then you can share. You will play, and you will share in as per how many tickets you have got, a percentage of the pool that you have, because you can add in more than 100 rand, and obviously you're get according to what your pro rata contribution to the pool was. We also got Pierre Strydom, who's going to give us his preview. I do have a lot of respect for him, as I am. He's also a foreman analyzer, and he will then give his views. I don't normally phone to jockeys, trainers, or anybody. Whenever I give you a selection, that is fine. That is selections done by myself. On July Day, we're going to give you the general preview on non-pick six races. That will I'll put into video, and I'll put it on the channel, and that will be for everybody to see. But on the pick six races, I'm going to do 6 videos, and that will be like race 1 for race 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But unfortunately, that will only be available to people that subscribe to my service. And then and I will also, for those people that will get race by race selections, suggested trifectas, quartets, bipods, big six PA, and jackpot selections. To subscribe, you can WhatsApp me on 083 585 5133. Yes, and then just to subscribe to our channel, just click on subscribe and ring the bell, and you will then get notifications of our newest video as soon as it's been posted. So then let's now go to our. What we normally do is have a look at the previous day's results. And I must say, yesterday at the Val was a bit of a tough day. Let's quickly look. I see they didn't even have race 1 here, but okay, race 2 or 3 was juveniles. I didn't tip much, but I did mention for the people who was playing a pick 6 to put in number 8 as well. Uh, in case he wins, and he duly did so. Then they doubled up if they had number 12 in. We had number 12 in our pick 6, so there we doubled up. But unfortunately, in the next leg, we all got done by zigzag. Now, I just want to, Zigzag paid 66 Rand for a win and 11 Rand for a place. Now, I just want to mention, if you listen to my pick 6, I said, in my preview, I said that 6 can be one of those Clinton Binder bombs again. Include into your play. I didn't include it in my play, in my pick 6, but you can't include all the horses, but that is why it's so important that you listen to my preview, because if you listen to the preview, you would have had a zigzag. And one punter, one of my subscribers actually sent me a WhatsApp thanking me because he had a few Rand wins on zigzag and a few Rand places, because I always say, when you play outsider like that, play each way. So he didn't say how much, but he just said he had a few Rand each way on number 6, and he did include it in his pick 6 and his PA. So you see, that is why it's valuable to listen to my previews. All right, there, I fancied number 12 to win, but that run third. Then in the next race, I said that Dance Class will have a very big chance to win, but I also gave you Ideal Cut. Ideal Cut paid 370 a place. Also with my value bets, I also often say take them each way, because if they don't win, that there's always a chance that they might run into the placings. Then race number 7, unfortunately, the horse that we said gave you a big blue marble or something, he just got tangled up at the start. They had a race review. They say that he was a runner, but to my mind, the horse wasn't ready. But yeah, that's racing. But I did give you the outside the year number 6, Impressive Duchess, who ran third, paying 480 a place. Then in the last race, we gave you number 1, Ice Eater, that paid 320 a place. But overall, tough day at the office. As you can see on the payouts, the pick 6 was there was a 200,000 Rand carryover. The PA paid 173 Rand. We only missed a PA with that horse that got tangled up in the start, and we at that stage we had it 12 times. So yeah, it would have been nice if we could have caught that dividend times 12. But yeah, that is racing, and one I have to move on. So now let's look at the card today at Greyville. Today at Greyville, we got 10 races. The first 5 races is maiden plates. Then there's 1 plate race, and then 3 difficult handicaps. So let's look at the betting. We normally look at the betting first. Race 1, number 2, Lion's Head. Race 5, Naval Secret. They both now 11 to 10. I see Naval Secret was a little bit longer, so Naval Secret is shortening since I last looked at the betting. Then they punt 16 to 1 the field. Dograti, it's a first timer from Paul Lafferty, Kennedy riding 18 to 1 in time in tune. King Cyrus and 20 to 1 and better the rest. So let's look at the card quickly. Now, guys, you must excuse me, because sometimes just go up and down with this is a bit of a challenge. King Cyrus has had 2 runs since the return of racing, and has showed some, 5 lengths, 7 lengths behind. Today, over the first race, is a maiden plate over 1,200 meters. It can withdraw 1, can run a place. So include in your quartets and trifectas. So here we have got one of the favorites, Lion's Head. It's a Dynasty by Z Agabor by Trippy of the dam Z Agabor by Trippy. Nicely bred, and Keegan de Milo riding. What I liked about this horse, but it was now on turf and not on the poly, but he did finish well, 22.7, and that was the 3rd fastest 400 meters. 3.6 behind Ashford Castle. I do remember Ashford Castle winning easily that day. So then let's look at race number. But number 2 definitely in with a very strong chance. You'll see that on the day, Dean Kannemeyer has got quite a number of horses. It might pay to take them in a small Yankee or something like that. Maybe you can pick up a few rand if they have a couple of winners. Then number 3 is a first timer. I don't know about this first timer. Race 4 is the first timer from a Paul Lavatory. He had a barrier trial, 3.5 lengths behind Chapter and Verse. Well, I have to see what it's going to do in the race. It is a Wiley Hall. I do like them. Out of a Carl mare, might be a nice breeding. So have include in your pay. Number 5, Naval Secret, is a Captain L, which he must be some of the last Captain L's out of Centre Victoria. Now that Centre Victoria, that is a strong mare, and she's from many sons and daughters that are quite good. So Naval Secret ran also over a Greyville 1200 meters yielding. Did find a bit of a support, drifted, no, didn't. Drifted from 2-1 to 33-10. Anton Marcus riding. And yeah, so definitely those two look like the top 2 contenders that might fight it out. A few other horses that you can look at to include into your play. Let me just see here. Number 7, the Westerner, has fared well in its first race. Ran third. The other 2 were barriers, and then did fluff his lines, but coming back -2 first time after the race. Johan van Vieren will not bring the horse to the track if it's not fit, so you do include that. And then maybe one other horse which I would talk about, Duchess of Cornwall, has shown some ability. This horse ran behind Mazani. Now Mazani won a big future in Scottsville last year. And then the horse is a bit off the boil, had a long rest, has changed stable since. So definitely include that in your play. It is currently at 50-1 or something like that. Let me just have a look. Duchess of Cornwall 50-1. So definitely this can, if this can come in, it will definitely boost the dividends, and then you'll stand in the payout you're collecting, laughing and thanking Outsider Genie. So do not leave out number 10, Duchess of Cornwall, out of your baits. If this horse is going to come in, it's gonna be really boost your dividend. Someone I mentioned, I see here, it's also ran Vanda Spirit. Now that's another horse that really was the talking horse, and has also gone completely off the boil. It is with the Candace Bass Robinson, and hasn't done well after that. But yeah, that is what horses sometimes they show a lot, and then they don't progress. Then we got another maiden plate over 1400 meters, this time not over 1200 meters. So let's have a look at the betting first. The betting here is, I want to mention numbers 1, 5, actually number 9 is also scratched now, and number 14 is also scratched. So that makes it difficult, that changed the whole complexion of this race. Let's look at the betting. Number 2 is now even money, Royal Cascade 28-10. Luna Prospect at 11-1, Red Vision 10-1, 10-1 Winter Time, 14-1 Mexican Dance, 20-1, and better the rest. So let's have a look at this race. Now in this race, the horse that was just got scratched, Seal was one of the favorites. Anton Marcus was on board. So that has changed the whole complexion of this race, because now number 4, Rex Union, will have a much better chance. The Duke of Marmalade out of Beach Beauty, we all know Beach Beauty, over the 1400 meters, did run on behind joint effort, was fastest 400 meters, and now to my mind the horse to beat. Just look at some other horses that has got chances. Number 1 did that. Number 1 is scratched. Number 2 had a decent barrier trial. Then on its debut on the 7th of June, it did run well over the 1200 meters. Maybe the 1400 meters will now suit, but faded. But now with the run, it can improve. If you see Marcus was on it, then it must have had they were looking for a big run. What is the betting on it now? Number 2, Mexican cat dance. Oh, it's 14-1, so not a bad price. So do include in your play, not in your play. Yeah, I can also play, but put it in your play. Royal Escapade surely must also now come into the rating. Had some decent races in Gauteng, and now it's the first race on the poly, on the sand. Watch out for the arena and draw free. Royal Escape is 28-10 and can surprise the favorite now, I would think. If we look at some other horses that could got chances, number 5 is a scratching. I'm going to talk about that now. Number 8 has had a decent first run behind Joint Effort that ran behind the current favorite. So do include now into your play. Number 8, Lunar Prospector of Zaki will definitely now come into the reckoning. I just want to scroll down here. Number 13 is now also inclusion. It's also on its first race. Now number 15, Wintertime, now comes into the place of number 5. Lionel Hewitson is riding this horse. It is also having its first run for Mr. Oudendal. Didn't show much, but maybe look out for improvement now, but also a longer price horse. So then let's move down to race number 3. Race number 3 is, let's have a look at the betting. Number 10, Gainsford 15-20, 11-2, The Solutions, Fighting Some 8-1, Winter Guard 8-1, 10-1, Star Crusade, Dark Fate 14-1, 25-1, and longer. So let's have a look here. First, I want to have a look at the favorite, number 10. Because this horse is 15-20, let's see. It's a 2-year-old Marcus aboard draw 10. Last time out ran behind Ashford Castle. In the previous race, there was also, if that horse has run well behind Ashford Castle, surely this horse must have a chance. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not knocking the jockey, really, I don't. But lately, Anton Marcus has not been faring well on short price horses. I won't be rushing to take the 17-20. As a matter of fact, I found another horse which I think has just got as good a chance as that horse, and that is number 9, Winter Guard. It's also 2-year-old What a Winter by Jetmaster Mare, and what I'm looking here at, this horse also run unwell, 23.4.1 tenth at the 400 meters. That was on the yielding, was running on the poly, drawn right next to the favorite. And I tell you that this 1400 might suit this horse much better. So I'll be looking to take on the favorite with number 9, Winter Guard. But I might have egg on my face afterwards. But I'm sure this horse will definitely run well. So just quickly look at some other horses on this race. I don't want to dwell too long. These mini races that I think has got chances. Number 5. Number 6 has some nice barrier trials, so keep an eye out for that. The Ghan, what is the betting on that? The Ghan betting is, oh, it's actually scratched, so I didn't even know that. That must have been scratched. Okay, so that's not applicable then, because it is a scratching. So then also number 8, you can include in your play Lionel Hewitson, Dark Fate. It has also run a few places, but I don't think his form is strong enough to beat the 2, to beat the 9 and the 10, Winter Guard and Gainsford. Yeah, so this is after those 2, there's many runners of chances. Yes, number 12, Star Crusade, has also run a few places. You can also include that into your play. And yeah, so that is that for race number 3. Let's move on to race number 4. Let's look at the betting first. Here your favorite is again another Anton Marcus, right? 5-2 Dancing Sword, 33-10 Hot Money, 9-2 Elgrave, 7-1 Foxy Lady, Bold Move, 7-1 Polynesius, 12-1 Strawberry Popped at 18, Wiley slash 20, Cherry Tomato 20, 25, and longer the others. So let's look at this race. Race 4 is now a maiden plate over 1600 meters, fillies and mares. So there's also a few horses with chances here. Let's look at a Foxy Lady. Drawn 1 is now with Prinsloo, comes from Cape Town. Fourier's riding must have a small chance to win, but I think has a bigger chance to place. Strawberry Pop Tart keeps -1.5. Always running there and thereabouts. You know, the type of horse that can run into your quartets, -1. Has run over different distances, but I think the trainer is battling to find the correct distance for this horse. But he's a danger horse in terms of sometimes goes to the front, but I don't think today will be the day that it will win. Number 3 has got no form. Number 4 has improved on its last race. Lionel Hewitson riding that came back after the rest and doesn't run too bad, but I have to improve more. Number 5, Hot Money, I think is the horse that can trouble the favorite the most. You know, has run some decent races on the poly. They have 5 runs, 2 seconds, and a third. They're behind a real therapy feeling 0.2 over 1200 meters. But I do think that the 1600 meters will suit this horse because the dam is by Western Winter, a master of my fate. I think number 5, Hot Money, is my choice to beat this race, to beat the favorite. And then we also have a look at number 6, El Grave. El Grave has run a few places. I think it is all this filly by Jackson out of Auditorium can improve, and definitely one to include in your play. Here we are back with the favorite, number 7, Dancing Sword. It's coming from Cape Town, first time on the poly. Has had some decent form, but I mean, it's not form that I would get excited about and that I will say this is, I want to put down my money and say this is a certainty, but definitely can win the race. That mare Turandot has thrown a few nice winners, so that might be, and it's also by Kirari. They paid 260,000 for it, so it must be some sort of a looker. It is in with a chance. I don't say it cannot win, but it is beatable. Then number 9, Polynesius. To me, this horse looks to me like an improver. Has had a nice barrier trial and then came back behind Alfonso Baby. Didn't do too bad. 5.5, but I think the 1600 meters will be short. You know, will be to a liking. Then I want to bring you into this horse, number 10, Cherry Tomatoes. Now, Cherry Tomatoes is a horse trained by Jared Ruck, who's now relocated from Kimberley. I really like the trainer. He works hard and he's a likable fellow. And I really hope that this horse will improve. I did run last week or so. Was there and thereabouts, but I'm sure maybe it looks to me like the 1600 meters will will be better suited because the mare is by Captain L out of Pomodoro. So, and this horse is currently 55-1. You want to have a look here at betting. This is a nice horse to throw into your quartets because if this horse plays, it's definitely going to boost your play. And what caught my eye about this thing is, that's the reason why I'm recommending this horse ran over a 1400 meter on the poly, 25-1, fastest 400 to finish. Okay, so definitely include in your play. Nicolas Platel do a lot of work riding. They used to be the work rider he was stationed in Kimberley. He's also with also in Natal, and he will know the horse, and I'm sure he's going to give it a chance, and definitely a horse that I won't leave out of my play today. I'm actually also going to include it into the pick 6. Just in case, because at one other stage, Jared Ruck and also Mr. Prinsloo, the other trainer, will soon have the winners in the center. I'm sure of it. They're good trainers in their own right, and it would be deserving for them to get winners in this center after all the Palama to you know, all the trouble they had to go to relocate. It will be a nice reward. So let's look at race 5. Race 5, number 8 track attack, 28 to 10, 9 to 2. Soriador, declaration of war, 5 to 1. Double Gemini, 6 to 1. Cowboy Cowboy, 8 to 1. Cyclone Breeze, 10 to 1. Alfredo, 10 to 1. Angelus Flame, 16 to 1. 20 to 1. The rest, and 53 to 1, and longer the rest. Now let's have a look here on this race number 5. Now, there's quite a few horses with chances of getting this race. As the favorite is 28 to 10, that shows you that there is many horses with chances. Elusive Swan has been withdrawn. Double Gemini must have a chance. Has been there and thereabouts. Has been being placed a few times, running on a little bit. He no fastest 400 to finish. But if you had a look at the time, 26.7, not that fast. But I'm sure the trader is also trying to find out the correct distance for his horse, because he's tried it over various distances, and it always comes up a little bit short. So let's move on to race number 5. Cyclone Breeze. Also come from Cape Town, had one run at a poly, did show a little bit of pace, 8 lengths behind King Julian, up there, stayed on. So definitely a horse with a chance that you cannot leave out. Cyclone Breeze currently in the betting, 10 to 1, yeah, the nice price, can win this race. Then you get also number 6, Angelus Flame, which I also see as improvement. It's an Irish Flame. I don't know if there's Australian breeding, but Irish Flame, I think the better, the further for this horse. He did have a nice introduction to racing on the 24th of June, where he was 6 lengths behind Foreign Jump, now getting -2.5. Definitely a horse you need to include, because it can improve to win this race. Then we get to number 7, Cardboard Cowboy. Cardboard Cowboy has shown some glimpses, but 2 runs back was beaten by the stable companion Frankie Two Shoes. And I can tell you, Frankie Two Shoes is not the world's beater, and it's fine. Frankie Two Shoes now finds itself in PE. So I can't recommend this horse with confidence. I do think in this race there are horses that are stronger. Then we get to number 8, Track Attack. Number 8, Track Attack. Is also relocated. Last time out, had one first run on the poly behind Fred, was up there and then faded. There was one pace. Maybe definitely the 1600 meter will suit, and I think even they would be looking for further on this horse, because they have tried it over 2000 meters. So this horse is not. It's not like it's a certainty can win the race, but I do think these other ones that are stronger. Number 9, Soyador, has also got a chance, has been running on, has actually been the favorite. If you look at the run behind Fred, and on this run behind King Julian, there were a few horses behind this horse as well. Lyle Hewitson riding, so also a strong contender. Number 10, Alfredo. I really like this horse as a 4-year-old. Hasn't had many runs. Only started its career now in June, and run not too bad. First race 6.74, and then behind Willis Express 3.5. After was there up to, but faded. And I do think that the 1400 meter was a little bit outpaced, and the 1600 will definitely suit better. Muzieri riding, and I don't think from draw 10 it will be a problem. I do remember watching this race. This horse was coming wide, 3 wide into the straight anyway last time out, and I think Muzieri will have it nicely placed. And to me, this is a very strong contender in this race. 11, Declaration of War, also in with a chance, always running up front and then running out of steam. Has now will now having his third run. Warren Kennedy riding always that makes him a danger, and also ran 3 lengths behind King Julian, so definitely also a contender. So all in all, a very open race, few horses with chances. So next move down to race number 6. Number 6 is a merit rated 76 handicap, class D, a merit rated 66. Let's look at the betting. Now, this is now one of the more difficult races today. There's a lot of things. They're betting 26 to 10, Red 8, Swagger Jagger 33 to 10, Tarzan 15 to 4, 17 to Orchard, Uncle Charlie 9 to to 1, 12 to 1, Great to be Captain, Silver Cent 40, 500 Resemblance 16 to 1, and 53 and betted the rest. Yeah, I really battled to make a selection in this race because to me it is a very open race, and I do find that a lot of the horses in this race might have a chance. The first horse I want to look at is here is number 10, Great to be Captain. Now, in this race, this is a merit rated 66. Now, this horse won a maiden in November and then came back in July, 8.5 on Transtonic and number 8. Now, this horse has drawn 10. It's a captain out of a wind rush, and the distance it's running on today is 1400 meters. So last time out was also 1400 meters. But this horse has run some nice races on the poly, and I think this is a long shot today that can surprise. It's a nice value bet. It has had some, since it came back from the race, a very long race. It's now the third run, and I think this horse is going to improve. And with Lyle Hewitson riding, I'm giving this horse a very big chance to win today. And as I said, it's a nice prize, Great to be Captain, 12 to 1, definitely one to include. Let's look at some other races, some other horses in this race that has got chances. Swagger Jagger ran again red 8 last time, has got a small, still in his favor, weight turnaround, getting -2.5. Can come in, not without a chance. Uncle Charlie also there and there about Jacobs riding -2.5. Also a danger horse, can surprise outsider that jet. And Golf Puller, you never know. Yes, this man, he can bring outsiders from nowhere like you can't believe. So also a horse with a chance. And as I said in this race, there's so many horses in with a chance. Orchard Street also in with a chance. Golden Riding can come in. Final Assembly. I've also think Final Assembly definitely a horse that I would include into my play, as I do think that this horse is definitely in with a chance. Luzanne Forbes also, she has got this nick to bring long shots to win with horses, and sometimes they put the money down. So definitely, and I just want to move back to number 4. Orchard Street also have a big chance. Last time out was running in, this horse was running against higher divisions than it's running now. It's now down in the lower divisions, and I would definitely include this in all my play because it's also drawn well, and definitely a horse that can have the ability to win this race. Red 8 won last time out, coming from behind, 22.1 on the poly after the rest. Was the first race from coming from Cape Town. Sean Wheel riding, also in with a big chance. So as I said, in this race, many horses with chances. I can't go through all of them, but yeah, definitely a race that I won't go big on. Then we move to race number 7. Race number 7 is a Pinnacle Stakes. And this Pinnacle Stakes, let's look at the betting. Number 2, Wonderwall 28 to 10, Udago Magic 33 to 10, 7th Gear 4 to 1, Approach Control 7 to 1, Socrates 12 to 1, 14 to 1, Photocopy, Tribal Fusion, Mr. Fitz 14 to 1, 16 to 1, 25, and 53 to 1 longer. So yeah, this in a plate race, it always pays to look at the best weighted horses. In this case, number 14, Petra, but unfortunately she's a reserve runner and can't compete. And then you get number 2, Wonderwall, Approach Control, Tribal Fusion, and Udago Magic. Now, to my mind, the horse they all have to beat. Sorry, number 1, Roy Tom is a scratching. I just want to confirm in the betting that the 14 is not running. No, it's not running. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure about that. Let's get back. Number 2, Wonderwall. To me, the horse that they all have to beat. Last time out, running the future behind Warriors Best 4-2. I know Sean Terry had also other horses in that race. There was a very strong race. It was a great one. Now back against lesser opposition, and this horse has run against the top horses in the country, and I think this is the horse to beat today. Other horses with chances, let me quickly run through for you. Another horse that I think that might have a good chance, number 6, Approach Control. Warren Kennedy, always there and thereabouts. Last time out, ran in a computer form sprint. Not a computer form sprint, but in a Pinnacle A. Also, look at the minute rating 110, and has also run some decent races. But I do think the distance might be a little bit short, so watch out for that. Then we get to number 5, 7 Gear. Last time ran in the Guineas. I'm not sure about the distance, but yeah, can come in surprise. It's well bred on cherry on the top, very well bred family. That Captain L in with a chance. Idagio Magic, Anton Markets also hasn't run under Polly before. First time out on a Polly. Also comes from Cape Town. Has run over longer distances, but did win a race over 1400 meters, and has won once over 1200 meters. So, but to my mind, it looks like this horse might be looking for a pipe opener for maybe another race. Sniper Shop has won on this distance and placed, but very in and out and erratic and out on the weights in this plate race. So there's, as I said, there's many horses that have got chances. Number 11, Tribal Fusion. It's also one of the horses that are better handicap. Now, Tribe Fusion is one of those horses. It always tries his best, always there and thereabouts. And oh, sorry, I see the distance is 1400 meters. My mistake. I was on the impression as horse is 1200 meters, so that changed in things. But Tribal Fusion has run over this distance 4 times and won 3 races, so definitely in with a chance. So if I didn't, I just want to rectify my fault. I don't know why I thought it was a 1200 meters. Then this will then also suit the Approach Control and 7th Gear, and Vodacom Magic will then all have better chances because they have performed over 1400 meters. But I still stick with my with Wonderwall over 1400 meters. I think that this horse will be hard to beat, and I'll stick with that choice of mine. To my mind, best bet of the day, Wonder World. So let's then move on to race number 8, World Sports Betting. Here the betting is 4-1 the field, 4-1 Winter Blues, 5-1 Prince of Venus, Wiz Odds 5-1, Wolfgang 6-1, 8-1 Yas, Bindi 8-1, Our Moon Shadow 9-1, Diamaso 12-1, 20-1, and better the rest. So let's have a look at this race. Yeah, also a very open handicap. If you can see here, it's merit rated 90, Class B 87, average merit rating 87. Now, as I just want to quickly run over this race because I try not to make my previews too long, but I know I'm always running out of time. Now, the horse that I think in this race is going to be number 7, Diamaso. He's got 8 runs over this distance, 3 wins, course and distance. He likes the poly. He always runs well. If you look at the merit rating that he's been running on, 87, 91, 91, 80, 98, 97. He's been running on well. I think in this race, the horse to beat. I also didn't like number 8, Wiz of Oz. Wiz of Oz is a young horse progressing, hasn't had many runs, won 2 races in a row, and then got beaten, but I think will improve on this course. It's course and distance, 1 run, 1 win. Warren Kennedy on board, definitely not a horse to look out. Then just for the back end of your quartets, I want you to well include this 9 Moon Shadow. This horse comes from Kimberley, but this horse is now running on a merit rate of 80. In Kimberley, he was running on at one stage 92. because he runs on his rating when he was running in before he came from Natal, so that's why he's now running on a merit rated 80. This horse can come in. This horse can improve and can definitely be involved in the finish. It's got Richard Fourie on board, and can definitely surprise and run into the race, into placings. So as I said, in this race, there's many horses of chances. Unfortunately, I cannot do all of them, but they, as you can see, the favorite and Winter Blues also in with a chance. Where's Winter Blues now? Zaki riding for Louis Huisson, but I think Louis Huisson has got a strong chance here in with number 5 as well, Winter Blues, and in Diamaso. Yes, Winter Blues form. Craig Zaki riding, definitely in with a chance, always there and thereabouts. Yeah, so to my mind, very open race. Also number 6, Prince of Venice has got a chance. Anton Marcus riding. This horse has run not too a few bad races. Ran behind Great Sharker, but there are horses that went in front of that, and the same goes for Wolf Game. Also ran in the Great Sharker race and had some of the other horses in front of him, but can surprise. So all in all, a difficult race. So let's get to the 9th race. Let's look at the betting. Number 2, leading fast, 16-10. Lady of Legend, 9-1. Extra Cabinet, 9-1. Rocket Girl, 9-1. 9-1 Dark Captain. Mr. Minster, Susie Wu, all 9-1, 10-1. Cars are smart. So after the favorite, all long price horses, anything can come in. Let's have a look at the form. I think in my mind, there's leading fast as the leading contender in this race. This race is a 1200 meters class C, 82 average merit rating. So let's look at number 2. Now, if you look at number 2 has been running quite well. It's the first time on the poly, but I don't think that should be a problem. It's a Silvano out of a fast neck rock mare. Came from Joburg, has had some decent form. Lady of Liberty has won a few races. Eskimo Finks has run a few races then at Scottsville in an 83, 84, 85. Now running in a 60, in an 82. Sorry, 82. So in my mind, this horse would be definitely be running on him, because if you look, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish. So definitely in with a chance, and yeah, will be favorite the horse to beat. Some other contenders that you can have a look at. Number 5, Rocket Girl, is also there and thereabouts, but hasn't won for over 600 days, but always includes in running places, so do include. Dive Captain has also had a few runs at the poly, has run a few places, can surprise and come in and win. I just want to mention something about Dive Captain. When you see here Petra, now Petra, this was B divisions. If you look at that, 88, 88, 88, 83, 78, 87. This horse has been running also strong competition. But if you remember correctly, just now we had this Petra was a reserve runner in a plate, and she was the best rated horses, and she was even better off on the weights than the favorite, which ran in a first division. So that this makes Dive Captain definitely a dangerous horse to the favorite. So if you have a look, it's run around Spring Break. So in my mind, Dive Captain, what is the betting on Dive Captain? Dive Captain is 9-1. Definitely a horse that you need to include in all your play today. And let's have a look at number 7. Mr. Minster. Also horse that's been running thereabouts, but also running on an end like 22.1, 21, 22.1, and this horse would be running on at the end, and to my mind, one of the bigger dangers to the favorite. So let's look at maybe 1 or 2 other horses. Another horse I just want to bring into the race, number 11, Song of the Forest, exquisite horse, is now coming off a rest, but this horse also runs against some decent opposition, running nice races, course and distance is 2 from 2. That always makes a horse dangerous. So definitely Song of the Forest include to all your play. Then the last horse I want to talk about is number 12, and that's Beat It with Muzieni on board. Now Muzieni, very good driver, and this horse has also had some fair races against some stronger opposition here and there, but yeah, definitely a horse that can surprise and come up and run into the placings. And Beat It is currently at 20-1, so include into your back end of your quartets, number 12 Beat It. So for now, that then concludes our preview. Thank you for listening. I do hope you have a great day, and as I always say, break a leg.